Hello, hello. Welcome to Media Queen TV. I'm so excited about today's show. We have the amazing Atena Pegler with us in the studio, and we're going to be talking about how to start an AI agency in just 7 days. So a little bit about Atena firstly before we chat with her today. If you haven't heard about her yet, then where have you been? Because she has been everywhere the last year, particularly. Her business has gone through the roof. She is a world authority on AI-driven marketing solutions for small to medium enterprises. And she's been seeing explosive growth without wasting time on ineffective traditional marketing strategies. She has streamlined success without the complexity. And she brings over 13 years of digital marketing expertise with her and has revolutionized marketing using AI by developing a proven 24-step marketing framework. And she's been hanging out with celebrities all over the world and speaking on massive stages and featured in media all over the place. She's an absolute superstar. Welcome to the show, Atena.
Thank you so much for having me today. Thanks. Hi, everyone.
It's fantastic to have you here. And hello to everyone who's joining us live right now on Instagram, Facebook, on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and of course we'll be on all the podcasts platforms as well moving forward. Welcome, welcome. Let us know where are you joining us from. And if you have any questions around AI, then pop them in the chat as we're going through this show today. Now, Atena, 13 years you've been in marketing. You've worked with some extraordinary companies. Could you give us a bit of your background firstly and what led you to get into AI?
Yes. So with the marketing, I've been in marketing for 13 years, and it's all started with 13 years ago, actually more than 13 years, it's been 14 years now, I would say. I started as a developer, and so I have a bit of tech background because some of the people wonder how can you do all of this innovation and everything. So I started as a developer, and very shortly after, I realized that my personality is very outgoing, and I just don't like to be a developer. I like to be a marketer because I always also had interest in marketing since I was a little. So basically, to give everyone an idea, when I was 5 years old, I had a pop-up store in the street. And I was selling things. So I was making things with my hand and stickers, like books and all sort of thing, and I would sell them in the street. I was only in the kindy, very young. And even back then, I was very interested in marketing. I do remember that my dad was trying to teach me about like upselling, and the fact if you get 2, you get 1 for free. Like if you get this much, you get discount. So it's kind of like always it was in my gene, and I was interested in marketing. And so when I went to the uni, so I studied the computer science, and I completed my bachelor in my postgraduate in the University of Technology, Sydney, UTS. And so what I knew that exactly what I want to do marketing. However, to a lot of the young students out there, to be able to, so that was a thing. I knew that to be able to be a good marketer, I need to understand the tech, right? Because a marketer without tech can be very successful. And I knew exactly the path that I'm going to select to be a marketer. However, I started being a developer. So I came out of the uni, and then I started working for a company as a Magento developer, which is basically a tech, one of the tech platform for e-commerce back then. And and any of you that are into e-commerce, you probably heard of the Magento. Is a very, very complicated platform. So I started as a developer, and that was really amazing because I was a developer for like 1.5 years, roughly, before I went to the marketing, and I understood about the whole entire tech setup behind the team, programming. And that was a time that I know I can be a marketer and a project manager. I went to the marketing project management role. I shortly after became a tech project manager, and then I started getting into the marketing. So that basically was a transition for like 2-3 years, going from developer to the marketing role. And I was very lucky enough because I was working for a digital marketing agency back then. And that digital marketing agency was specialized with larger enterprises, like 7, 8, 9 figures. And that's when I started getting exposed to a lot of those large brands. And I'm very, very grateful for that experience because I started working with really, really huge brands worldwide, like one of them called Trent Kings, for example, Camila, Australia, And a lot of those big brands have started working on the marketing, started working on a website, and really get exposed to this huge marketing budget. So I was working with a marketing budget for like millions of dollars a month, combined with all of the clients that we had. And in that way, because I was exposed to huge marketing budget that we had, then that's how I could actually, have a huge, extensive experience in that marketing field. And yeah, about that role, worked for a couple of different companies. I was the CTO of one of the biggest online fashion in Australia, Hello Molly, for a couple of years as well. And because I had a tech background in IT and programming, and also background in project management and marketing, then that's how I could become a CTO, because I could understand the entire business, not just like one side of the business. Then going from there, being the CTO of that company and really helping them to grow the business. So basically double the business revenue in 6 months, a very short period of time. Business started scaling, going from like 20 employees to 40, 50 in a very short period of time, because we're in a highly scale. And then I started my own business. That was under a different name. So the name was Digital Help Desk when I started my own business. And I was quite successful with the business, but the only problem with that was scalability. I couldn't really scale really fast. And the reason being is that I had experience working with those huge clients and 8 and 9 figure businesses. Then those 8, 9 figure businesses, the competitors and the sub would approach me, and I would get a client that's not figure. And then what happens is you get that huge client, you don't have any team. So that basically you end up working full time for that client. And it's like kind of like I wasn't really had a business. I was like a contractor, if you can think of it. I would assume good money, and I had flexibility in terms of hours, but I would only be able to get 1 or 2 clients. So how the whole AI journey started is, it was about last year that I was like, okay, I need to scale the business, and I want to go and more focus on the small, medium businesses this time. So I'm able to scale it and get as many clients as possible and write on one, and I need to have a team. And that's when I started posting a lot of the jobs in LinkedIn and Seek, and I started interviewing people. And that was a disaster, because every single people I was interviewing them, they wanted a high salary and they don't have the expertise. And I was like, even if I can find someone 5% like my skill set, I would be happy with it, even 5%. But it was like literally it wasn't possible. Like people that were interviewed, they either didn't have right attitude, or they didn't have the right skill set, right? And as a small company, that is one of the big challenges, because someone, for example, is very good at email marketing, but that's all they know. And as a small business, you cannot go employ an email marketer as a full-time. You need to employ someone that understands a lot of different part of the business. The email marketing, they understand Facebook advertising, they understand the funnel. But it's very hard to find someone that has all the skill set like I do myself, because of my background. And that was the challenging part, because like I was like, how do I do it? Like one person is good one area and they don't know anything else. And then that's how all it started. I was like, I wish I could clone myself. If I had a couple of Atenas in my business, or even more, I could have scaled to 9 figure, literally. And that's when I said, I wish I could clone myself. It's all started with that question. And guess what? I did it.
Yes, amazing.
So self-learning in terms of AI, I started getting quite obsessed with the ChatGPT, and then realizing the downfalls of ChatGPT, because you put the input and you get a garbage ad. Like if you want to write a Facebook ad, for example, I know how to write a Facebook ad because I've been doing a lot of copywriting. And then I asked ChatGPT to write a Facebook ad, and oh my God, the output is really garbage. And I'm like, okay, so this is not good. The ChatGPT does not work. It cannot replace a copywriter. It cannot replace a marketer. Then I was like, okay, so you need to play around with the inputting. How are you putting input? Is it possible to train GPT? That's when I started getting obsessed with it. And I did lots of practice. And that's when I could crack the code. Basically, ended up being by accident, become one of the first few prompt engineers in the world that able to basically write the input or prompt for ChatGPT and train it for any output. And I ended up with like dozens of ChatGPT, custom GPTs. If some of you are a bit more advanced, you know what I'm talking about custom GPT. And create like a 300-page worth of the prompts. Some of the things, like for one single thing for ChatGPT to do, it's like a couple of pages of prompts, for example. So the prompt engineering, that's what it is. Like, for example, you want to write a Facebook ad, you don't know, you ask it, write me a Facebook ad about this. This is one line prompt. What I ask it to write a Facebook ad, I basically give it a structure, I give it a formula, I give it lots of example. It end up being one full page of prompt. This is a difference. And then with the custom GPT, what you could do is that instead of trying to have the prompt and every time you copy paste them, you create those custom GPTs for do particular thing. For example, I'll have one custom GPT for Facebook ad, one for the building the sales funnel, one is for building the VSF funnel, one is for the email sequences, one is for the creating the webinars, one is for creating the, for example, the authority statement for a star guide. And I have like 80, 90 of them, basically. So that's how the whole journey has started, basically. Well, obviously, there's a lot more happening with the ARpreneurs movement that we created and stuff, but I'll let you to ask those questions next.
Yes. Well, I have just done a course with you, which I absolutely loved. And I was amazed to see how many best-selling authors came out of that and how people were getting themselves out there and starting new businesses. Can you share what you've done as far as the format of how you've launched your business out there? Like, you've been running events, you've done courses. How have you structured getting yourself out there with business, and how have you gone to grow it so fast?
Yeah, no problem. So what I did so I started spending nearly 6 months or even more to basically develop all of these prompts, develop the skills in AI. And that's not just the prompts, it's a lot of like AI software too. Basically, I was like, this is my marketing framework that has been working, generating, scaling in the 8-figure businesses to 9-figure. And that was my marketing framework in terms of lead generation, how do you do lead nurturing, and how do you do the customer service. I was like, how can I do that with AI? So a lot of that I could do it with the using of the chat GPT and prompt engineering, but a lot of that I required the software to do that. So I started getting obsessed with the AI software. So I ended up like, we have like 96 AI softwares that we tried. And that's funny because when I shared my last pass show to someone, I was like, and then the new employees too, when we get employed someone, I said, whoa, like holy moly, like this is a real tech company.
Yeah, I bet.
98 AI softwares, like holy moly, we never had seen anything like this before.
Wow.
However, with all of this AI software and stuff is it kind of like I started cracking the code about what is the prompt, because all of the AI stuff is prompt. For example, to give an example, there's a software called Taplio, Tapilo. So that's that software, I think it's like a $50-$60 a month subscription, and I use it for a while. So what it does that it can go find the viral posts in LinkedIn and model them, and it write the copy for you. So you write something similar that will potentially go viral. This is fantastic, but it's quite expensive. And the AI Accelerator course, speaking about that, with that AI Accelerator course that we launched a 10 weeks program, one of the thing is a lot of the people in that course, they were startups, they didn't have much money. And for them to spend the money, $50 on this software, $20 on that software, then they end up spending a couple of $100. So one of the questions I kept asking myself every time is that, how can I actually either find a software that is for free that is as good, because there are a lot of secret software that you can't find them in Google. And I have the list of them, right? The softwares that are really amazing, doesn't imagine they're free. And either I find a software for free, or I can crack the code to see what is the prompt behind that software. So for example, Tablio goes find the viral ones and copy it. And I could crack the code for that one. I created a prompt that exactly does what Tablio does. So if you go and take a screenshot of all of the viral posts that you want, and then all you do is that you put a screenshot ChatGPT, use my prompt, and it go and duplicate, like it go and model it. Basically the same thing. So I stopped using that, right? That software, for example, then. But yeah, that's basically the whole thing about the softwares. But going back to your questions, how it all started is after I actually got obsessed with all of this prompt engineering and software for myself. And I didn't end up actually employing anyone at that point either, because I was just using AI to do everything for me. I didn't have to get copywriter. I didn't have to get Facebook ad, especially I didn't have to get someone email, because basically my GPT prompts could do that, or custom GPTs. But then I was like, I have a coach, and I talked to my coach, and my coach told me, Atena, no, it's time to change the world. You cannot keep this secret to yourself. You have to go and try to, change the world and share everything that you develop with the world, and then try to give so much value, which is also one of my biggest mission, as you're aware of. And that was the time that I was like, okay, I launched the AI Accelerator course then. However, what I did that is I sold before I created the course. So what I did, I actually did 4 live master classes free. And in every live master classes, we roughly got 500 registration, all cool audience. And then from that 500 registrations, so we did four master class, and I closed 70. So I sold the AI marketing accelerator course to 70 people, right? And even though there was 70, and then the people started taking the course, once I sold 70, that was back to February. So February and early March. So I basically did 4 webinars across like 6 weeks. So that's how I made 6 figures in 6 weeks using that business, basically, because I sold to 70 people a $2,000 course, right, in 6 weeks. And I was like, okay, no, I sold the course, proof of concept. I know there's demand there. No, let's go create it. So I basically then I started creating a course. Well, I had all the prompts and experience, however, about how to structure the course, how to do it. Then I did it after I basically sold it. And yeah, so we had like, as you're aware, we had 2 live sessions a week that are with the Monday copywriting and prompt, Thursday softwares and hacks and tools. Monday, I would just share one of my prompt, teach about everything, what that prompt does, how you can use it. Thursday, we teach about AI software. Basically, we did that for 10 weeks, and we gave an extra 5 weeks to everyone, just to be able to, add a bit of the bonus and surprise. As you're aware, with my business, I always like try to over deliver. We gave an extra 5 weeks. We went for 15 weeks. And then I decided not to continue with that course in the live. It's just because there was at least 20 people that basically did nothing. The other never show up, because we can also see in the back end who actually log into the portal, right, to watch the recording. Some people, they couldn't attend the live because of the time zone, because these 70 people, they weren't just from Australia, they were from all around the world. So we had people from UK, we had from Singapore, from US. So because of the time zone, some people but they could catch up with the recording in the portal, and they had access, but I could see who can actually doing it. There was roughly around 20 people that absolutely did nothing. They didn't show up. They never logged into the portal. And I did touch base with them. They were like, oh, you know what happens? They're course junkies. They just go, they get into the momentum or something, get a course, they never do anything with it. And unfortunately, and then I went back to my coach. I said, this is what happened. My coach told me, Atena, this is the nature of education business. There are always going to be course junkies there and never do anything. You cannot do anything about this. You cannot change the people. And that is how it is. I was like, I will change it, because this doesn't sound right. I don't want to have course junkies in my course. It just doesn't feel right. And what we did that, we created a movement of original 50. So the 50 people that actually took action, the 50 people that either show up or watch the recording, they took action. So we call it original 50, just to show you this bracelet. It says original 50.
Yes.
And that's the Arpano. And then we created the merchandise, the t-shirt. You can see the t-shirt in here, a t-shirt, bracelet, sticker, everything. And we send it to the original 50. We actually made them really, really special. And then I decided that, okay, so what I'm going to do, am I going to continue? The course was a huge success. So we had a lot of success stories coming out of it, as one of the recent one that I shared about the Tara's stories. She was one of the biggest success stories of our program. And we collected over 55-star testimonial over that course. Basically, every single person that actually did anything with the course, they left us a testimonial. So we ended up being, I think in total, because after the course, we also we're doing bootcamp and AI preneurs. I think in total, we have like over 85-star testimonial collected in a very short period of time, in a matter of like 3 months, which is really amazing. Not even one single 4-star. So we got a lot of raving fans. And what I decided that maybe I can turn that course to an evergreen. So what we did that we provided as an evergreen, so everyone can go learn those modules and do it, but it's not live anymore. Because with the live, then I decided that instead of that, create a bootcamp, which we can discuss about it a bit later. The bootcamp that basically get over all of those course junkies, because they come to the bootcamp 3 days with us and they cannot escape. There's no excuse. They get to actually execute everything they learn. And then we're selling that AI Accelerator course as an evergreen course now, that do it at your own pace. There's no live coaching, and it's a lot more affordable too. Because the live, the 10 weeks program was $2,000. No, the AI Accelerator course is $997. So that's basically how all it started. And yeah.
Extraordinary, amazing. And there are so many AI tools and it's changing so rapidly. So staying on top of it all must be quite a challenge. How do you stay on top of all the AI tools?
Yes, it has been quite a challenge, to be honest. I would say I spend approximately as a minimum 20 hours a week on self-educating myself every single week. So forgetting about all of that experience that I have, that people say like, this is already enough for the rest of your life. I'm not like, no, it's not enough. You continue, so you have to learn. I spend minimum 20 hours a week on self-education. That self-education part goes to, for example, more innovation, more prompt engineering, trying new softwares. And every time there's a new, better software comes, then we go to people, oh, this software is better. But thankfully, majority, I would say 95% of the softwares that we recommended to people, they are still the top in the market. That means that we did the extensive research before we recommend them. So I use it. So any software I recommend, I use it for my business myself. There's no way that I'm gonna go, oh, recommend to use this software for this, and then people say, okay, have you used it yourself? No, I haven't used it. No, it's not in my business. What I always say, that you need to be the product of your product. If there's any software we use, any strategies we say, I implement them in my business first, we get the success out of it, and then we go and recommend it to other people. But it's been challenging, to be honest, but that's why I work so hard, and I work 16 hours a day, because it's just, I have to be on top of the whole technology. And on top of that, you're running a business that is scaling very rapidly. And it hasn't been easy. However, it's quite rewarding when you see that how
Yes.
you could actually grow and help people.
Yes, and you have 2 children, which is extraordinary, and I know you have a very strict regime with your health as well. So can you share a bit about what does the average day look like for you, and how do you juggle having a family and keeping all of that in balance?
Yeah, no worries. So I usually go to bed around 8:30 p.m. roughly. And the good thing that when I go to bed, I pass out straight away within seconds. So I don't have any problem traveling, going to sleep, because I'm too tired. I've been working 16 hours. And I
Yes.
usually wake up anytime between 2 to 3 a.m. That's my wake up time. That's when I start my day every single day, including weekends. I don't take the weekends off. I work 7 days a week. And so I wake up around between 2 to 3 a.m. and I don't set the alarm. I wake up organically because I've been doing that for such a long period of time. My body is used to, my body clock is just wake me up. Wake up around that time. And that's the beauty of it, because I spend the first like 3 to 4 hours of a day just focus on do like a transformational task, not the transactional, the transformational task, whether it's a marketing, is writing a new prompt, is business scaling, like really the things that's going to move the business forward. I don't check emails. I don't waste my time on any of those transactional tasks. And that's what I focus. So 4 hours a day, I focus on the first 4 hours marketing and sales, basically. Marketing, try to follow, like all of that, or like innovation. And then after that, the kids wake up. I usually spend an hour, half an hour to an hour in the morning with them, cuddle them up. And they're quite a small, so to the audience, my kids are 2 and 5 years old. They're quite a small. And so I spend about roughly an hour in the morning with them. We cuddle them, and we spend some quality time together. Then that's when I start going to the office, and I drive to the office. And when I drive to the office, I usually do try to be productive. So either listen to the podcast, or for example, do my breathing exercises, which is the I don't want to go through the health part, but you have to try to exercise your heart every day to be able to have a healthy heart and to be able to work so hard. So that's one of the key things I've learned from Tony Robbins in the life mastery that we did with him. And so I do that. And then they like from our house to train session is like 5-6 minutes drive. I quickly that 5-6 minutes do that. And then they train 20 minutes. That 20 minutes to drive, I always read a book. And the book that I read is business books. So that's basically what I do. And last year, my New Year resolution for 2023 was that I finished one business book a week, and I could do that. I wouldn't say I finished 52 weeks, but probably I could finish 40 weeks last year. And all of those books are business books. So that's when I could really, really become unstoppable, because I've been learning from all of these best people in the world, learning about all of their life story, how they could be successful, how they started, all of the business secret marketing. So that's how I actually really, really, started being a lot better than how I was before, and becoming the point that everyone said, how can you do so much? Because I've just learned so much. Like my brain was constantly stimulated and being brainwashed. And then I'm trying to obviously find a common pattern between all of the successful people. I read their story, and one of the common pattern with them was that they work hard. There hasn't been any self-made billionaire or millionaire that they have huge success that they not haven't been work hard. It's impossible almost. And that's when I started actually being able to brainwash myself that you can work hard. It's not like I'm burnout and all of that things. And that's why it was a part of me trying to actually have a new identity, to be honest. And obviously doing things with Tony Robbins really helped as well. I had a lot of big breakthrough through Tony Robbins program. We did the UPW with him in person, and we did all of the university mastery, which helped me with that mindset part a lot too, because as we know, mindset is actually really important. I would say mindset is 80%, the skill set 20%, because with the right mindset, you can literally achieve anything you want in your life. And so yeah, basically that. And then I go to the office and I work non-stop until 7 p.m. basically. And at 7 p.m. I get home and spend an hour with the kids again. We have dinner, have some really quality time. Then I go to the bed. But then on the weekend, I work a bit less. On the weekend, I usually work about 8-9 hours, not 16 hours, because then we spend like a quality time with the family. We go out for lunch, and I work in the evenings and in the afternoon a little bit. But yeah, just it's possible. It's definitely possible. It's challenging, of course. And but the kids also got used to not seeing me as much. However, spending quality time with them when I'm there with them, really quality time. And yeah, I have like a date with my daughter every Sunday, for example, and she always look forward to that. We build a routine out of it. So she look forward the whole week for the Sunday because she's got a mommy daughter date day. And yeah, so we made it work.
Beautiful. And you wouldn't do those hours if you weren't driven by a strong purpose and a strong mission and vision. So can you share with us what is that? What is the vision behind this? Why are you so driven?
Yes. So the whole mission, it started with many years ago. When I was at the beginning of my career journey, it's that I had a friend, and so she was my close friend back then, and she was an entrepreneur. And so she was like a lot of other entrepreneurs. As everyone knows, is entrepreneurship is about, honestly, to be honest, unfortunately, is about suffering. And then you look at the metric, the basically 98% of the businesses worldwide fail in the first 10 years. 98%. So 98 out of 100 fail in the first 10 years. And that's really horrible. Like all of this is startup. And then I used to be mentor, and I'm actually still am, for one of the biggest co-working space and the entrepreneurship community for in Australia. It's called Fish Burners. I've been doing a lot of now at the moment do less mentoring because I'm very busy, because I was doing it as a volunteer. However, back then I was mentoring a lot, like 10 a week or something. And then unfortunately, I would see that a lot of those businesses, you wouldn't see them come back next year. They come to that co-working space in that entrepreneurship team. They're very excited. They've worked for 6 months here. Next year, they don't show up. Then you go follow, what happened? I don't see you anymore. I got a full-time job. They fail. 9 out of 10 fail. Basically, that's a reality. And so one of those people, that was my friend, that I built a friendship through that community, and we become quite close. And she was the same. She was literally, and on top of that, she was very hard worker. So she would work so hard, and with her startup. And then unfortunately, what she did, that she started looking for investors. She found some investors. She was under so much debt and the promise to the investors, and her business fell. And that was that when she started going into depression and so much pressure. And unfortunately, what happens that she ended up taking her life. And yeah, it's very unfortunate. And that was a point that it really got into me. And I was like, entrepreneurship sucks. Like, I don't want this to happen to anyone else. And it was a period I was saying that, am I just gonna give it up completely, or am I just going to try to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else? Because someone in this world needs to come and change it. Enough is enough. But obviously I made that big mission then, which it sounded quite impossible back then. And you know that one of the things that I always believe in fate. And what happens that a couple of months after that, I was still suffering from grieving, that the what is it called? Oh my God, Gary Vee. So he came to Australia, Sydney, and I was a big fan of Gary Vee back then, and I still am. I was following all of his social media and everything, training. And then he came to Australia, and I was like, I would do whatever it takes to go meet this guy and ask him only one question. And what I did that, I found out where his hotel is. And I went and sat in his hotel all day in the lobby, waiting for him either to come. I didn't know where he is. I didn't know if he's in his room or if he's actually outside or where is he. So I sat down basically entire day until he walked into the hotel, to the lobby with his bodyguard. And that's when I approach him. And I actually have a picture of me and him. I catch, like, he has a shopping bag on. He's got his hat on, very casual. And then, yeah, anyway, so he said to the bodyguard, it's okay, I'm going to have a chat with her. And I said that, what can I do to be able to create a solution or do something to change this? I told him about my story. And then he said, it's very easy. And then he said, touch your head. I basically put my hand on my head, and he said that, try to be creative. And that creativity is something that you could become unstoppable and do anything in the world. And I was like, how can I be creative though? And he said, this part of your brain is where your creativity is. You need to activate it. And every word, it doesn't matter how you were born. It's not something creativity that you're born with. You need to activate it in your brain. And I was like, how can I activate it? And he said that every morning when you wake up, ask yourself this question for the rest of your life until you become a person that no one can ever be even close to you. And I said, what is that question? He said, ask this question. How can I be more creative than yesterday? And after 365 days, a year, you are 365% more creative than last year. This is how you become your brain's gonna work out, come up with all of the out of the box solutions, and then you could do anything you want in the world. And that advice, honestly, that was I would say, one actually changed me quite a bit to get to the point that I come up with. And actually, one of the reasons that I ended up being very, very good marketer was that part, because I was very creative, extremely creative, coming up with constantly out of the box solution. And when I was a CTO, to give you an example, then every time there was an issue in the company, we had a meeting, everyone is talking in the board, and they're coming up with the generic solution, and I just listen and I'll just say something that everyone gonna get a goosebump. How could you even think about that? Right? And that's why I ended up being very, very successful in my career journey. Very, very successful. It's just because I practiced that. And then one of the reasons for my success is also because of that, all of this innovation we did in AI, prompt engineering, software. And people said that, who taught you about AI? Like I said, I'm learning it myself. No one teach me about software, anything. I teach myself. I figure it out. It's just because my brain works a bit differently with other normal people. And I would say that, yeah, it's my friend was the reason that is actually empowers me then. And I made a decision then that I would go and change this entrepreneurship failure, because this is just ridiculous. And someone needs to stop it. And obviously AI has been one of the reasons that, I could achieve this a lot quicker, because we could do a lot of things with AI and be innovative that we couldn't do before. And no, AI is actually making it possible. So I'm so grateful for this technology to exist now, and then we could leverage it to do amazing things with it.
It's an incredible story. And, I feel for you, because I've also had 4 friends who've taken their own lives, and I've personally had depression, and it affects 1 in 3 people out there. And I think, with people who have all good intentions, sometimes things can just be too much for some people, and they just don't know where to go from there. So having something where you're achieving and you're doing something and being a purpose, it really does help drive people to not just have extraordinary lives and businesses, but actually to be able to help their families and help the communities around them. And I would say your friend is watching over you, and I would say she is supporting you on your journey spiritually with what you're doing, which I truly believe everything happens for us, not to us. And I think, they say, great challenges are not given to small souls, or, small challenges are not given to great souls. Like I don't believe we're given any challenge too big that we can't handle. And you're certainly a great example of someone who has been so driven, who's embraced this new technology, who's doing whatever it takes, to get the advice from your mentors. We've both worked with JT Fox, and, having great mentors around you is so important for success. And it's interesting, the book, Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week. Well, it's all a bit of a fallacy, isn't it? This whole 4-hour work week. People say, well, look at Richard Branson. He runs so many companies and he hardly works at all. Well, what are some of the things you would say, some of the essential things? So what I'm hearing is resilience, doing what it takes, being on purpose, wanting to help the community. What are some essential things you think people need to be successful entrepreneurs?
They need to be persistent. Persistence is the key. Like a lot of people, they get momentum, they lose the momentum very quickly after. And the other thing I noticed with the people is shiny object syndrome. That's unfortunately that most of humans, they suffer from that. That's why I end up being course junkies. They literally see an ad in Facebook and they go to that live event and they get excited. They sign up to a course without knowing what they sign up to. And then they have a momentum for a couple of days and then they lose the momentum. They see another ad. Then they go and sign up to another course, and they're constantly shifting from one thing to another. They're not persistent. You have to be persistent with what you want. Persistent for every day, every week, month, years to come, and have a goal. Like be very focused, because trying to do, some people like that, as a business mentor or marketing mentor, you talk to the startups and say, okay, what is your business? Then they literally throw you like 5 different businesses that they have in their mind or they're doing at the same time. And I'm like, talk to me about one of them, right? You can't go and start a new business when you haven't established one yet. Go establish one yet, go all the way, double down on it. And then when you're successful, then you can become 7-8 figures. No, you go and launch another business, but focus and persistent. Or there are some people say, oh, okay, I'm so inspired by you, Atena. This is amazing. And it has been some of those students that they actually message me and say they wake up at 2 a.m. because they're inspired by me. But you know what happened? They only woke up in 2 a.m.s for a week.
Right.
After that, back to the normal habit. It's like when people want to lose weight. They go on a diet. They just go do it for like a couple of weeks. They lose the momentum, back to the way they were. They're back to the eating. So you need to change your identity. If you want to make a change on yourself and be successful, it's a change of identity. Persistent, consistent action. Persistent, consistent action until you succeed. Every single day, 7 days a week for months. Okay? You build a discipline. Discipline is the word. And being focused.
Yeah, and amazingly now you can start an AI agency in just 7 days. So I really want to know more about this. I'm going to be attending your 3-day workshop in Sydney. I can't wait for that. I think it's going to be amazing. So how do you start an AI agency in just 7 days?
So yes, so that's basically the whole challenge of the workshop is about. So we're basically going to have 25 businesses and again, this is a boot camp. You cannot escape. You have to sit there, come with your laptop and execute it. And basically what we do is that we go and the first day we do hot seat, and you come and say about what your business is about, and then we figure out about how we're going to build your business or scale your business, depending on if you're starting up or you basically have access. If you have, for example, a marketing agency already, and you want to go and shift it to be a bit more AI, make it to be AI agency, you could do that. Or you just want to start from scratch. So we basically go build everything with the help of AI, and using our AI business lab, AIpreneurs Business Lab, which we could talk about it shortly. This is a SaaS that we launched this morning. And that was one of the biggest thing that we did. And so using our software, we actually train the people how to create the Facebook ads. how we could create the Facebook ad creatives, images, video, and then how we could go create the sales funnel, and then how we could go create the email campaigns, how we can automate the entire process. Because for a business to be successful, they need these three things. If every single business that failed had these three things, they wouldn't have failed. But it's not just about having these three things. What I mean by three things is ads, you need funnel, sales funnel, and you need email nurturing sequences and automate everything. These three things, every business needs to be successful. However, the traditional way of doing these three things is usually not successful because it's hard to build a sales funnel without the help of AI. To do something like that, it might take months. It costs like 30 grand to charge a business to do it, and startups don't have money. So because we're using AI and my prompts and our SaaS now, we are able to deliver really, really quality done with you marketing, basically using that all of these things, and then set up the entire marketing funnel, which is the ads, sales funnel, and email nurturing sequences, and automating this entire process. What happens is that the moment that you leave the workshop, you're going to have the persistent leads into your business because you launch all of your campaigns, everything working. And once you get the persistent lead to your business, then you could start getting those clients as early as 3 days after the bootcamp or 4 days after the bootcamp. That's why we say 7 days. Because what you could do is that everything that we did for your business to be able to actually get the persistent lead, you could go duplicate it for other businesses. Basically, it's like, because we teach you everything in the bootcamp about how we build this entire framework using our SaaS and using our prompt and everything we have, how we built it. And now you built it for your business and you exactly learn everything. Now you can say, go get clients to do exact same thing for them by just duplicating your sales funnel. And now you want to create the new content for it, you can use our business lab to do that. And that's how you can actually go. And that our reason came up with this idea because it's execution bootcamp, which no one does. It's not only run by me, it's run by me, world's #1 funnel hacker, funnel builder, which I'm very, very grateful to be partnered with, and also the world's leading media buyer as well. So the three of us running 25 businesses in 3 days to build the entire AI power and marketing for them. So yeah, that's the whole idea. Because the other reason that we went down the path of, because in the AI Accelerator course, we help a lot of people that are businesses to actually scale with AI. However, this time we kind of shifting a little bit more into the people that actually started to start an AI agency. The reason we did that, because I have a very, very huge mission that almost looked impossible when I said to people, because I said that I want to impact 1 million businesses in the next 12 to 24 months to help 1 million businesses. And then when you say to someone that says it's impossible, how can you have 1 million customers, Atena, in 12 months? Like you joking? And for me to come up with the whole creative idea again about, rather than saying something impossible, you set up the big goals that is unreasonable, and then you say, how can I achieve it? The why is important. You have a big mission and you will say, I would do whatever it takes. I would do whatever it takes. This is my big mission. People can laugh at me. They could laugh at whatever they want. And that's the whole thing about it. All of those billionaires and successful people, there's so many people laugh at them, right? That's how this all started. And then I say, how can I go and help 1 million business in a short period of time? Then I came up with the idea of this, to try to train other people to be able to start AI agencies so they can provide this AI services to the businesses. So if every person that I train and go help hundreds of other businesses in the next 12 to 24 months, then my impact become, 1,000 times more. And that's when I can actually achieve that goal. And that was the idea of this bootcamp. And I started an AI agency 7 days. And also to be able actually to do that, help 25 businesses to do the done for you marketing. Some of you that done done for your marketing or your marketing, you know what it involves. It takes like weeks or months and so much back and forth with the clients. And at the end, you're probably going to have a garbage output. That doesn't work. And then for us to be able to say, we only have 3 days to set it all up, a perfect solution, 25 businesses. How can we do that? And that's when we came up with the idea of the business lab also. So we've been working on this SaaS for a couple of months, and it's called AR Prono's Business Lab. That's basically our lab is able people, everyone can use a lab, don't have to come to the bootcamp. However, the people in the bootcamp, they get priority, plus they get full training, and they can see how we actually build the entire business from ground up perfectly using the lab and with the mix of like a go high level that, for example, we're using. And so that's the whole idea of that bootcamp.
Amazing. And look, whether people like AI or not, the thing is it's here to stay and it's only the early days yet. So, you can choose to embrace this technology or not embrace it. And if you don't, you are going to get left behind in business. There's no two ways about it. Things are just moving so rapidly. And at the same time, people also do want that heart-to-heart connection. They want that authenticity with the marketing as well. So how do you bring your authenticity to all these AI tools?
Yeah, so I did clone myself. So I have my clone version, which we use AI. Basically, we just give it a script, and my clone version, actually I have different versions of my clone. And one of the recent version of my clone I created, actually I'm walking in the office and I'm walking actually backward. And that's the reason that I'm walking, because people say, how could you walk backward and not hitting any chairs or anything? I intentionally did that to be able to grab the people's attention on social media. When we do the Facebook ads and stuff, it's all about grabbing people's attention, and that was quite successful.
Yes.
But yeah, I do that one. But the thing is, because everyone that knows me, they know that I'm like AI. A lot of people call me AI queen. I don't really like that. I call myself AI preneur, but they call me AI queen. And because people know that I'm like one of the leading authority in the world for AI, and they don't mind that. They don't mind that we using like a chatbots. We using my clone version. We even for a while we tried doing the customer service with the AI agent calls. That we train the agent calls to be able to do the customer service. We tested that, and the interesting thing is when we asked the people for the feedback, they said they actually loved it because they never talked to a bot before, robot like on the call.
Yep.
It's typically chat is actually called. They never, and then actually I cloned my voice as well, so it actually sounded like me, but it says that it's a bot, it's a robot. But that was quite interesting with them. And then what happens with every single scenario? They started challenging that agent, right?
Right.
They started challenging it by literally like asking different lead questions, and that was an interesting part because when we were watching the recordings and the bot has been challenged, and majority of the cases the bot actually handled it really well, the agent handled it really well. And there was one of the scenario that one of the AI accelerator students, they received a customer service call because she had some questions, and then the bot called her to run her through like how the GPT works, how can you change your interface from white to black, blah blah blah, and it did an amazing job. And at the end, she asked a very random question. She said that, "Oh, is there any Facebook group that we could actually have?" It would be really nice. And back then, that was the very beginning of AI Accelerator course. I never thought of having a Facebook group. I never advertised it. And that actually the bot, because I trained a bot for like an unusual question that may come up. And one of the things that was that if they ask about social community, this is how you respond. And the bot handled it really well. They said that this is our plan, and we're going to launch a Facebook group very soon. Thanks for your feedback. And then when I listened to that day, I launched a Facebook group, literally. And then we Facebook group, and also we did the WhatsApp after that. But yeah, I would say that the people actually really warming up to AI. They actually like it. So when we did the survey, the people actually like to talk to a robot because it's interesting and different. And because this is my niche and what I do, the people expected to get a lot of this automation bot calls or customer service because they're expecting that, this is my product and I do everything with AI. But with the other businesses, I would say that is people are a lot more warming up to it. Like a year ago, people you're talking about AI, they're kind of talking AI is going to take my job. These are the sort of the question we were being asked. Now the people literally come to my live sessions. I don't get those questions asked at all anymore. And everyone say, how can you help me? They're literally in the point people that they're really warming up to it and say, we need to use AI. How can you automate it? How can I automate my customer service? How can I clone myself to create more content? Because, done better than perfect. And so, yeah, I would say people are really, really warming up to it. Things getting very different. Like with 6 months ago, very different. I can promise you in the next 6 months, people are even going to be a lot more warm up to it. And it's the same with any tech revolution that happened. If you look at the history is repeating again. With the internet, a lot of people were against it at the beginning. It's like a now everyone using internet, right? And then that's how it's going to be AI in the future. And I don't have any concern about that.
Yeah. And the authenticity I was talking about is, people are going to want that also, that heart-to-heart connection with people, and knowing that you've got real human beings that are, programming the bots, or, that are working behind it. I guess you've always got a bit of that human element in the background, don't you? And how important do you think it will be moving forward to do social media posts where you do share from the heart, where you do share more of what's going on in your life as a human being, as opposed to having an agent share, or being transparent about, hey, this is Atena's bot, or this is an agent here, and not the actual real person. How important do you think that will be moving forward as all this AI is coming about?
Well, you still can post social media, and like I used to do that all the time. I just constantly going and record myself saying something, but it's more organically. If you want to plan the content, for example, especially for paid advertising, and you're showing camera, and for example, one of the example is if you want to do Facebook ads, and is one of the things with the Facebook ads that you can create like dozens of different variation of the same video, and the video is the same, however it says different things, like a script is different. Could you imagine if I was going to record myself 70 times with a different script, and I'll read from something that everyone can see I'm reading from it versus be organic? What I do with my clone is I literally go call myself, I'm working in the office, motion avatar, then I give it 70 different script. It takes probably half an hour to create 70 different videos, and I'll go upload them all in the Facebook, then I'll have 70 different variations. The chance of the success of that campaign is 100 times more. And the people that doing the Facebook ads, they either don't know if it's clone, or even if they know, they actually impressed. And I know what Facebook ads work the best. Actually, the winning ones are the ones, the CG character ones. The CG character one is that use that robot face or anything on the human, and we've tried a couple of different ones. It's just because people get interested. Like social media is about what is going to make me to stop scrolling, what makes me interested. If you have a clone of yourself, and at the beginning you said this is my clone, actually people are going to watch the rest of the video if you say it's my clone, versus that they're seeing it authentic. So we kind of need to shift our mindset on what we use the AI for. Necessarily, when you want to do the, for example, Instagram Live and stuff, you don't need to use your clone or AI. You just authentic and use it. However, for some purposes, the AI really, really gonna help us to have a huge success that it's almost impossible, or it would take 100 times more time and effort to do it without AI. So an example, look at my social media is mix of both. A lot of the organic content, however, we create the images with AI. For example, we create the captions and hashtag with AI, and we could create them in bulk. So one of the things that it's in my school community, that one of the courses is how to create 6 months worth of social media content with AI, and you create all of this content and video script and everything. Then those video script, you could go record it yourself if you want to be, or you could use your clone, and or you could just create the images and stuff. But I would say also with the clone version, it's just getting better and better every day. 6 months ago, when I cloned myself, it was quite obvious it's clone, but nowadays you wouldn't say. It's very, very hard to say which one's clone. I actually, in one of the live master classes I did, I put my clone and my version with the same clothes next to each other, and I said, make a guess which one's real, which one isn't. No one could say. It was 50-50 votes in there, and that just shows that what is actually possible. And I know we're running out of time a bit, but I'm happy to go a bit over if you want to cover a bit more.
Yeah, look, it's extraordinary what you can do with AI. And, being a photojournalist myself, I must say in the early days when digital photography came about, I'd been doing film photography for years. I resisted it. I was like, no, digital photography is not as good as film photography. I resisted and resisted, but now look at it, right? Now everyone uses digital photography, so the fact is it is moving so rapidly. And if you want to save time, if you want to stop the scroll on social media, it is so important to learn to embrace these tools. Now, I'm curious, Atena, with all the different tools you use, do you have a few favorites? And if so, which AI tools are your favorites that you love, and what do they do?
No worries. So my new favorite at the moment is AR Prono's Business Lab. which is our tool, AI tool. And you're more than welcome to share the link with everyone. So we've been working on that tool for a couple of months now. And what it does, that the AI Partner Business Lab, we launched it this morning. It got sold out in 30 seconds. 30 seconds, because we only open it to a small batch of the people to be able, because at the moment it's in beta, and we don't want to suddenly have 500 people to register to the test drive. So that within 30 seconds, however, there's a waiting list. So every day we're going to open up to more people. We go through the waiting list, we open up to them, and that's what you guys can go and use it. So that business lab is basically is a replacement of all language model, is a replacement of ChatGPT, Cloud, Microsoft Pilot, Gemini. Is basically the entire language, AI language model available in the market. You could actually access it through the business lab without having any subscription to it. So you don't have to subscribe to GPT-4. You don't have, so it's basically going to save you a couple of $100 from subscribing to so many different softwares, because we've got to put everything in there. And then we do $1 test drive, and that $1 is because that goes to the Are You OK charity organization, because of my mission of helping the suicide. And so that $1 goes to that. That's the only reason that I want to use this lab, to be able to contribute to that Are You OK organization. And then after that, after 4 weeks of free trial, it's only $97 a month. And there's no obligation during that free trial. You can cancel it. Otherwise, you can continue $97 a month, and then you can get rid of all of your subscription. And also, is what is behind it is all of my prompts. The 300 page of the worth of the prompts that I told you about earlier, that I spent a year getting obsessed and developing all of that. It's all in the lab. However, not all of it. As we go, we just add a bit more. What the lab is basically complete marketing and business solution to be able to AI partners either build a business from the scratch or scale existing business, or they also can do they can go and use our software to help other businesses and make lots of money. So that's my number one favorite now. But apart from this, our own software is HeyGen is one of my favorites. So HeyGen is the one that you could clone yourself. And HeyGen has a lot of other functionality. It's not just a clone yourself. You could basically use your clone version to do presentation. You could do personalized video. So if you got the subscribers, for example, you get 100 subscription to your email list, you could send them 100 different videos telling their name. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to this, blah, blah, blah. And then, that's impressed people. And again, coming back to that authenticity, like we did that. We used that for a subscription for a while. We stopped using it, but we're going to use it again. But the people that reply and say, I'm so impressed. You know what happened? They're impressed and they want to do business with you. They want to do it because that's the whole thing about this AI, is actually really impress people, because there's not actually many people that you could leverage AI to this extent. And when you do all of this cooler stuff that doesn't requires like a huge amount of investment or anything, like it just like AI set the course that we have is just as one module train you about how to use HeyGen, for example. And then you just pop the link to AI set the course. If anyone wants to get the AI set the course, is available for purchase. And it's like a 21 module. It teaches you about all of the different AI tools and software. The other AI tools that I really love is the Clap, KLAP. The Clap is very, very good to create shorts, right? For example, if you go and record yourself for half an hour, or you go public speaking, or you do get interview, or you have podcast, anything that you have is a longest video, like a video, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours. You put it in a Clap, KLAP. You put it in a Clap, and the Clap goes create the shorts for you. Create like dozens of shorts, including the subtitle, including the emojis, including the focusing on your face, all the editing. So you basically, it creates you like a 20, 30 different shorts that you could go and schedule them for social media in a matter of like 5 minutes. Right. And this is the other, like I got a lot more I could go, and but we do provide training on the top 10 AI tools. That is my favorite. We do provide full training on them on the AI Accelerator course, and available to purchase. We do the payment plan as well. If anyone interested, get into that one. That's what I would say. But the business lab, definitely try to get into waitlist, because that's absolute game changer.
Amazing. And also you're on School. Could you share a bit about the AIpreneur community there?
Yes, of course. So I started the ARpreneurs because one thing that I always understood is to be able to build an empire, you need to have a community and a village behind you, right? And I always believe that with this huge, big mission that I have, I couldn't do that without myself. Obviously, I have a small team, but I needed to build a strong community that we all share the same mission. We all work hard towards the same goal. This is not just my mission, it's the mission behind like everyone that needs to be part of this movement to go help 1 million businesses in the next 12 to 24 months. The 90, and then I did share a post the other day. I said that 800,000 businesses a year in US fail or close their door every single year. 800,000 businesses in the US close their door every single year. And literally, I made a plan about how can we go and make sure that doesn't happen. And not just the US, forgetting about UK, Australia, Canada, Europe, and all the other countries. So then that's when I decided that, okay, I need to have a village behind me with the same vision. We're all going to work together and change the world. So I started doing some research. And obviously there are no Facebook groups exist, but Facebook groups doesn't have momentums. The people like we created one for the AI starter course, as you know, there was barely any contribution. People don't check it. There's no momentum. And I was like, no, that is not the solution. That's when I started some research. So I came up with a school. A school is SKOOL. So the SKOOL. So I came up with a school, and that was the answer to my solution. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's exactly what I wanted. So a school is, some of you haven't heard of it, is basically is equivalent to something like Facebook. However, is you could have your courses in there, you could run your events there. It's got gamification. You could upsell your courses there. It's got a community. It's got an award system. Like it's a comprehensive solution. You basically can get rid of your ClickFunnels. You can get rid of Kajabi, Thinkific, like everything, like all of this software that you use for different processes, you can have them in one single place with the school. And that's when I started discovering. That's back to 2 months ago. And I started discovering, however, no, we're dealing with completely new solution. Something that I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to actually build a community in there. And I was like, oh my goodness, Atena, know there's something new you have to go and master. And Atena's personality kick in. I get obsessed with it. I was like, I set up a goal. And that's another thing that is very important for the entrepreneurs. Set up goals. I said that I give myself a week. I absolutely work my ass off. I would do whatever it takes. I go master this school to figure out about how I can do things. And I spent a week and I absolutely mastered it. And guess what? We are the fastest growing community in the school in the last 2 months. We grew it right from the zero ground up. There hasn't been any follower that came from it, apart from the AI Accelerator course. We only have the first 50 people that joined the school. That was it. And now we are 1.5K members in 6 weeks,
Wow.
6 to 8 weeks.
Amazing.
That's basically like the fastest growing. And it's obviously like you've been to a school a little bit, you can see that there's a huge amount of work behind it. And we created this community of the people with a big mission and raving fans. I would say a lot of raving fans we have there, and we try to help them, provide them all of these free courses, free training, weekly live classes, massive classes, Q&A. And also we try to reward people that are in the top of the leaderboard, which is the people that are more active, contribute to the community. We created the mini mastermind. So we've done a lot in a short period of time. And what happens is that because I had a huge success in this school community and I've been so quiet in the other communities, I never posted anything. I've never been touched in any other creators. And what happens that people started noticing me because our ranking started improving a lot. From being 4,000 or 5,000 in the ranking, we ended up being 150 in like 6 weeks. That Amazing. Was like absolutely like from 4,000 or 5,000. And then it takes people like people been in the school, the other communities for like over a year, and then not even 600-700. And we could achieve that ranking in 6 weeks period. And that's when I started showing up and get a lot of the organic traffic as well through the school. The people that go search for the AI, then we coming up literally in the first page. If you go in the school search for AI, I'm on the top. If you go search for the sales marketing, I'm on the top. We have the one of the higher ranking. And then I started getting noticed by all of these other creators that who are these ARpreneurs? Who is this ARpreneurs creator that have a huge success in such a short period of time? And the other thing that for the ranking is, speaking of ranking of school, the main number one thing that's going to affect your school ranking is the engagement in the group. So you need to have extremely high engagement group, lots of post comments engagement to be able to improve your ranking. And that's something that every other creator in the school community struggle with, because it's extremely hard to create an engagement. However, that again, my creative mind and coming up with the solution constantly excite people. Like people say, I cannot keep up with you, Atena, because every single day there is a new announcement, there is a new excitement, we're launching something new. And then we create all of these raving fans and excited people that are sharing the same mission now. And and then I cannot wait. It won't be long that we're going to be number one ranking the entire millions of the community. They got millions of members and thousands in there. That's basically the goal: become number one in the school.
Very cool. Congratulations. That is massive. And I know we've got a few of your fans have actually been joining us live today. We've got Stroke Warrior Marketing here on YouTube, says we love your community. We've got Corinda Malhi says I love your typo shoes, but actually I love your shows. Oh, I love your shows. Oh, that could be my shows. I'm not sure. But hello, Corinda there on Facebook. Good to see you. We've got Vanessa Choi. He says, such a great community. Good to see you there. Marcus Hansford here on YouTube joined your school, Atena. Loving it. Great interview and advice. Thanks, ladies. Oh, pleasure, Marcus. Glad you're enjoying it. We've got a whole lot of other comments here, and I can see all the people on Instagram.
Are we able to share the link to the school?
Yes, the link's in there. I've put the links to school in there already. Cynthia De Leon says, great interview. I'll pop the link up again. So you go to school, SKOOL. I'll just pop it up again so that people can see.
Yeah. You can go there and search ARPreneurs. If you go to sklool.com, then you go to Discover Community, search for ARPreneurs, it will come up. Or they can just click on the link that that's in the chat. I can't see the link for some reason, so I don't know. It might be just me.
Yeah, it's up on the screen here. So in the comments section, you'll see that there. And if you don't see it there, we'll make sure it is across all the comments on socials wherever you are right now. Yeah. So that's the link to go to. Just look up AIpreneur.
AIpreneurs/about.
There in school. Absolutely. Yep. Hop in there. And we've got AI Revolution here on YouTube says, wow. We've got Sarah Kuchaki says, you are a rock. Thank you so much, Sarah. Stroke Warrior Marketing says, wow. He says, I love custom GPTs. Ghostwriter on YouTube. Hi, Atena. It's a webinar. It's a webinar, Andy. That's Andy there on YouTube. And we've got so a bit of conversation going here between Mohammed here and AI Revolution. We've got quite a few of your AIpreneurs fans in here, which is awesome. Stroke Warrior Marketing from Massachusetts. Hello, all the way from Massachusetts.
#AIpreneur. We have that hashtag actually. I'm an AIpreneur.
Yeah, I love that. I am an AIpreneur. Love that. Wonderful. And Ghostwriter says, great webinar from Andy. And on Instagram, thank you to everyone who's joined us. Islam Sadikul says hello. We've got Sculpted Peach, Christism, Kate Kendall, Impact Your Life, Iron Fiverwala, Savita, Marcus Hurst. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know, what have you got out of this show today? We have shared such amazing gems here. It's been fantastic having Atena with us. And what an inspiring lady you are. It's really wonderful to see your massive success. And this is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. That's what I say to people. I said that 2 months ago. I still said that. I say, this is the beginning, how does the end look like? And there is no end. We constantly innovate until we could actually help as many businesses as possible.
I love it. You're amazing, Atena. And look, if you're going to do something, do it properly. And Atena is a great example of someone who doesn't do things in halves. She's all in, and it's so inspiring. You're an absolute superstar, Atena, and I'm so looking forward to seeing how many more people you can impact, and seeing you in Sydney as well, myself personally. Any final comments before we wrap up? And I'll share my link as well for those who want to connect with me. But before we get to that, any other comments you'd like to share on this topic?
Get into the AIpreneur a school community. And that would be my comment, because that would be the beginning of today, could be the beginning of a new life for you, because that's something a lot of people told me in the school. We have the people that actually post a comment that said that my life changed the day that I joined this community. And try to join the community. It's a lot of free support available there. And then one of the other thing that other creator and trying to tell me and push me says that you need to start making it a free paid community, because that's what happens with majority of the community. You start with free, you get the first couple of 100 people for free, then you make it paid $100 a month. So, and people would pay for that, because we give a tremendous value. We actually did a survey and everyone said they would happily pay for it. However, the reason that we don't want to make it to be paid is because there's so many people in the world that they are talented and hard worker. However, they cannot afford the paid community, and I don't want to exclude them. There could be someone like my friend sitting there, hard worker, extremely talented, but they need support. And that's why I decided to keep this community free forever. And that's basically, I was like, I'm never gonna make it paid, because with this community, even if you don't want to go into the paid programs, which we have a couple of paid programs, is still, if you engage, you level up the leaderboard, and on the higher level you can unlock the courses for free, training courses, and you can still start making money and get customers using those free training courses that you unlock. And as an example, we have a couple of people that they have been high on the leaderboard. They've been so active, helping the community, and they started monetizing it by actually unlocking the free courses. They have Amazon bestseller now. They can now build a website with AI. That's one of the modules available in level 7, that level 6, 7, that you actually can unlock. So it's still with not paying anything, but spending time, be committed, you can be successful. That's why I don't want to make it paid, because I don't want to exclude anyone. And it's a horrible idea, because it's not about the money only. It's about that big picture and mission. And to be able to achieve that, then we decided to make it free. And for the people that say, hey, I don't have time to go and be engaged to unlock those free courses or attend all of your live sessions, because you constantly have live session and then you provide value, then they can come to the bootcamp, or they can go and do the AI accelerator course to basically, to have the success a bit quicker. Like, you want to start an AI agency, you could go through the free courses materials and unlock it. It might take you 6 months. You go to the bootcamps, you get it done in 3 days, right? So that's basically, you kind of give value to everyone, wherever in the journey of the business they are, whether they can afford it, they cannot afford it. And yeah, that's basically what we love it. Definitely get into my advice is that get into the school, get into the business lab, and that would be the beginning of something really amazing for you. And all you think about that, all of you that watching this live, is like something like you could be doing something else. You could have not show up, right? The fact that you started to show up is just shows that, yeah, today could be 15th of August. And in US, 14th of August, that could be, the day that would be actually a changing point for you in life. Like when I met Gary Vee, that was like one of the changing point. Or when I met Tony Robbins, that was the second biggest. So that could be the day for you that it's open up a new opportunity for you. And community is extremely supporting and welcoming as well. Extremely supporting. Like actually the people that so much like they're providing like support. And even my team, they're thinking that, oh, have you paid this person? Are they part of the team? Or what's happening? I'm like, no, they're just raving fans. And that's the thing. That's what I learned from the Tony Robbins. Build a business that give value so much more than everyone else in this world to create those raving fans that they do the marketing for you. That's basically the business I always dreamed of creating. And then I did that, and see all of these raving fans and constantly trying to promote me and really be supportive. And everyone think that they are my salespeople, that I give them commission. They are my admin people, but they are not. They're just the people that absolutely love what I created, and I just want to give it back somehow.
Yeah, you're amazing, and you do always deliver so much more than you say you're going to deliver. There's always surprises and so much amazing content there in school. It is extraordinary. So yes, do hop along there, guys. Hop along to school SKOOL. Look for AIpreneurs and go to the About section. You'll find it in there. And also for those who want to join the lab.aipreneurs.com, just go to that link there, lab.aipreneurs.com, and you can check.
Waitlist, but we go through the waitlist very quickly. So likely in the next few weeks, you're going to get the test drive it for $1. $1 go to charity.
Amazing. Yeah, so hop along there. That's also exceptional value. And we've got some new comments. Oh, here we go. We've got Stroke Warrior Marketing says, I'm level 6 working on level 9. And that's a beautiful thing in school. You go through all these levels, right? Which is the gamification, isn't it?
The level 9 is that I will coach you for the entire year. 12 months of free coaching with me. That's a level 9. And obviously that's a lot. And then I cannot wait to see who's going to reach level 9 first. And I want to make it to be my biggest success stories. And that's, again, if the people have no money, they can't afford the paid program, they could go into the community, give it back, go to level 9, you get coached by me for the entire year. You become unstoppable. If you hang out with me like 2 weeks, you become unstoppable already with that personality that I really push people forward, make them to be out of their comfort zone. Imagine a year. So that's option and possibility available to every single person in the free community.
Fantastic opportunity. I absolutely love that. We've got Robert Moles just joined us. Thank you so much for all these lovely comments. Keep them coming. We love all this, and any questions, comments, we can check them after the live stream if you're watching the replay as well. Now, Atena, out of all those books that you've read, is there a favorite that really stands out for you?
The favorite? Alex Hormozi books have been my favorite. So he's got 2 books called $100 Million Lead and $100 Million Offer. And I'm a big fan of Alex Hormozi. And for those of you that doesn't know Alex Hormozi, so he's the founder of the acquisition.com. He's a 9-figure entrepreneur, very, very successful, and the best, number 1 marketing in the world. And I've learned a lot from him last year. So I started with reading his book, which is the $100 million offer, $100 million lead. And a lot of things that are innovated in the AI industries actually is based on the learnings that I've done through all of his trainings. So I created the custom GPT and prompt based on his training about how to create a irresistible offer, how to create the bonuses, guarantees, like all of those amazing things that he shared. So it's 100%. I would suggest to anyone, any entrepreneur, get into those 2 books because you're going to learn a lot about marketing. And he talks in the simple way as well. It's not that if you're not a marketer, you wouldn't understand. However, what we did in the business lab is basically that, like a lot of the training and learning from the Alex Hormozi and other marketers is integrated into the business lab. So you basically can go and use that without actually knowing the learning behind it or anything like that. But I would say that was my top 2 favorite. As I said, I just read the business books, like really, really business book. I don't read like a books on novel or anything like that. And Russell Brunson's books have been really amazing too. I think that they were probably my second favorite. He's got 5 books, and each of his books is like this thick, tiny fonts. It actually takes more than a week. I think each book took me like 3 or 4 weeks. 3 weeks to do it. He's got 5 books, so it took me 3 months, I think, to finish all of that series. But his books are actually really amazing for if you are not a marketer, and you basically can go zero from to being a pro by finishing those books. And a lot of the methodology that he used, like Linchpin, one of his latest book called Linchpin, that he basically teach you about how to create the what does it call, like SLO pages, self-liquidating offers, that you could actually do Facebook advertising without paying any money. That's what happened with my webinars. And I say to people, I spend $0 on advertising because I have a SLO page. Basically, you create a low ticket offer, something for $40, $50 in the second page of your sales funnel. You get the people to sign up to your funnel, get the details, email and name, and second page say, hey, hang on, would you like to have access to this training and that for $47? So that second page, usually 5 people subscribe, and that covers your advertising costs. So he's got a book that he discussed the entire Linchpin model. And also he shared about how he could get to non-figure himself using this model. And he hasn't shared that secret at all until that point. And then what we did with the linchpin that we integrated into the lab. So a big portion of the business lab, that our software is based on the linchpin model. And so yeah, that I would say all of this learning that I did is made me to be who I am today. Like
Yeah.
it's a combination of like years of like a working hard. And
Yes.
people see it as an overnight success, but it's not an overnight success. There's a lot behind.
Yes. They say it takes a lifetime to be an overnight success. But
Yeah, exactly. And then people say, how could you be the number one community in the school and like a fastest growing? How could you master it in a week? People spend a year. And I was like, it's just because I built that muscle to be able to master everything quickly.
yes,
Muscle
absolutely.
working out. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And they're great examples. Russell Brunson, of course, I've gone through his whole funnel and bought a whole lot of his books too. So, and Hormozy, check out Hormozy Method, amazing. Two master operators there, having fantastic mentors, I think, is absolutely crucial on this journey. And just want to send a big shout out. Thank you to everyone who's joined us live. Do you have a favorite quote or motto that you live by, Atena, that you'd like to share, or, any words of inspiration?
I would love to share my own motto or our community
Yes.
AR motto, if you don't mind. And
Sure.
that's basically show the world what's possible. And the other one is, my favorite is, impossible is merely untried.
Love that. Both awesome.
That's
Absolutely.
I live with that motto every single day, literally every single day. Because every time we come up with the challenge and we say it's impossible, I was like, no, shut up. There's nothing impossible. Remember that. And I constantly remind myself about that. Impossible is untried. And that's what we want to. ARPreneurs' mission is to show the world what's possible. And we're going to be absolutely warriors and help so many businesses and impact so many lives. That's basically our mission and motto.
It's so great. And it's so great to be at the founders level in this and to see how fast this is going to grow. I'm sure we're just not going to recognize things in a few years' time. It's moving so fast and so exciting what's coming up with this, the AIpreneurs and the whole community. It's extraordinary what you've created, and kudos to you. You're so inspiring for so many people and so young too. You've got such a huge future ahead of you. So excited for you for that. Hello, Fluffy Crunch just joined us there on Instagram. Good to see you there. And so appreciate your time too, Atena, today. I know how busy you are and you've got people wanting you all over the place. So really appreciate your time here today. And for those who want to...
Yeah.
It's been amazing to have you here. And for those who want to connect with me, hop along to my linktree/Aldwyn's got all my links, linktr.ee/Aldwyn. You'll find there I've got a webinar coming up, how to build a global brand. We talk about mass media exposure and different methods that I have used to build my brand over time. And you'll also see there the Global Good News Challenge, where we share gratitude and good news. And that is also to help decrease depression and suicide rates. And a shout out to you too, Atena, for what you're doing with Are You OK Day, which is coming up on the 12th of September, which is to help highlight the importance of meaningful conversations on Are You OK Day. And in fact, any day I think is a great time to have meaningful conversations. So that is also, the link for that is in there. And of course, that's my YouTube channel there, Aldwyn Altuney Media Queen TV. So subscribe if you haven't already. We have over 1,300 videos on there, some extraordinary, inspiring interviews like this one with some awesome people from all over the world. So love you to join me there. And of course, you can book a call with me as well there on my calendar link. So lots of options. Connect on the socials. Thanks so much for everyone who's joined us here. We've got Stroke Warrior Marketing Impossible. The word itself says I'm possible. Yes, that's another great one there. And Stroke Warrior Marketing loves Russell Brunson as well. Awesome. And I look forward to seeing you guys over in school working through those levels. Let's see who gets to level 9 first. Any final words, Atena, before we wrap up here today?
Not really. I would just say, if you're an entrepreneur, become an ARpreneur. That means leverage your AI. And what I can say that it is possible, and you don't have to be in that 2% of the people. You don't have to be that 90% category that you're gonna fail. And I would just say that try to have, like, what does your heart say? Like, your heart says that, okay, this is the path I'm gonna take. I decided right now to become an ARpreneur. Join the school community, connect with us, and go all in. go 100% in and try the business lab, try all the trainings, and just have the mindset part is very, very important. Set up big goals. That's what I would recommend everyone, because if you set up a small goals, then you're not going to work hard. Because if I want to make 100,000 in a year, your goal is very, very small, then it's absolutely impossible for you to get over 100,000, because that's all you're thinking about. But if you set up a big goal, let's say I want to build a 7-figure 6 months or a year, and then as long as you have a strong why do you want to get that? Let's say you have a 7-figure, what do you want to do with that money? Because a lot of times is the motivation and the why behind what we want to do it actually help us to get there. And I'm telling you guys, I'm providing the how with this community and all the innovation we did in the AI. You have the how now. It's not a matter of how anymore. I want to build a successful business. I want to get 100 clients. I want to do paid advertising. I want to make this much money. The how is there. We're helping you to get there. Basically, we help you to go from here to here, whatever is your dream are. But why you want to get there? Because along the journey, you have to work hard and you need to keep the momentum and you need to be persistent. Because I'm telling you, like to get to this success, you need to work hard for a year, persistent, no shiny object syndrome. You don't distract yourself with 1,000 different courses, 1,000 different ideas. You just go all in, one idea, you do whatever it takes, and we provide you the how. The how is not a problem anymore. Think of yourself about what is that why behind it, because the why is going to get you there. And then one of the example, and I tell to people, I say, imagine that there's a burning house on the other side of the river, right? And you have to cross the river, and you got $1 million in that burning house. However, the river between you and the house, there's lots of crocodiles in there. So it's likely if you cross the river, you get killed by the crocodiles. Okay? So the question is, if there's $1 million in that house, would you do that? Literally everyone said no. They wouldn't do that. Everyone. I said, what about if your children or loved one is in the house? Everyone said they would do it. So what it means that you would take whatever risk, whatever it takes, because of that why. What is your why? Because if you don't have a strong why and you're motivated by just money, unfortunately, you're not going to work hard and you're not going to get there. You need to be motivated by something a bit more than the money. And I love money too, and I want to build I want to become a billionaire. And people say, why do you need money? Because when I have money, then I can do contribution. I can buy my mom a house that she always dreamed of, right? I can help a lot of people that live in poverty in my birth country. On my mom, I can go help them. I could create a community or like a charity for the ARpreneurs, a non-for-profit. I can help a lot more people. I could have financial freedom myself. I could what I mean? There's a lot of reason that I want to do it. But what is that why behind it? Is that because you want to have your children to be proud of? You want to have a financial freedom that you could spend more time with your family? Is it because you want to make your parents retire? Is it because what is that why behind it? And always when the why is just not about us, about the people around us, that's when we have a strong why and reason. And that's something that everyone needs to sit together tonight, that you're watching this, think about this and plan your life and set up big goals. And the goals has to be tangible. I want to be successful. That's not something you can achieve it, because what does success mean to you? But you have to set up tangible goals and make a decision. Come to the school community, be an ARpreneur, go all in, do whatever it takes, and we're here to support you to get to that level that you want, whatever your level is. Everyone's different level and different goals. That would be my last piece of advice.
Wonderful. Yes, well said. And as some people say, when the why is big enough, the how will show up. However, here we have the how for you, my friends. The how is here. So what is your why? And in fact, share with us in the chat. Love to hear from you in the comments. What is your why? What is your why? And we look forward to seeing you over in the school community. Some of you I will see on my webinar, How to Build a Global Brand, coming up on August 23. Thank you so much once again, Atena. Stay connected, tune in. As Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And a final quote I will leave you with is, don't let perfectionism get in the way of progress. So notice if there's some bright, shiny object syndrome coming up, as Atena mentioned. It's very common nowadays, very, very common. And the course junkies, I must say I've had a little bit of that myself. Atena, there has been a little bit of that myself. So, a work in progress. I'm a recovering perfectionist.
Yes, that was a very amazing quote. Done is better than perfect. And that's the thing. I used to actually suffer from perfectionism myself. I still have a little bit of that. I'm not still perfect, but however, I really push myself to get over it. For everything I just do, I said that get it done better than perfect. I constantly remind myself every single day about that. And you know what? I make mistake. I'm a sick human. We make quite a bit of mistakes sometimes. And you know what happens? Something I've learned from the Tony Robbins, and it says that every time you make a mistake, you just tap on your back and say, you're so gorgeous, Atena, or you're so adorable. And then basically try to please yourself, because the fact of the matter is you took an action to do something, and that's why you make a mistake. And you are ahead of everyone else, because you know what? 99% of people don't take any action. They basically don't do anything. So the fact that you're actually doing something, and then something is not perfect, something goes wrong, you make a mistake, you say you're adorable. You basically laugh, you move on. And that's a life. We make mistakes too, and that's how I actually get over it and please myself. And is a lot of time I go to those Facebook ads, and one of the training that we did, AI Accel course, I said, let's have a look at the Facebook ads available, and then we look at everyone, they're all boring. I was like, oh, this is such a bad job. Everyone that writes Facebook ads do such a bad job. They don't know how to write copy. They don't know. But you know what I said? I said that shout out to all of these people that actually have a Facebook ads. Because how many of people actually have businesses have a Facebook ad? Majority of them don't even have Facebook ads. The fact that they have it, but it's actually shitty, that's better than nothing. No, imagine if you can have a perfect ad copy, perfect creative, perfect video on top of that. And that's how you leverage AI to achieve all of that. But yeah, done better than perfect. Definitely try to better perfect quotes. And thanks for reminding everyone about that.
Yes, I love that. And always come back to self-love. I've got my little love heart here for you, because remember, you are extraordinary regardless. The main thing is get on the court, get out there, take action, get some great mentors, and get in a great community like this one is extraordinary. In fact, I don't know any other community like this. So join the AIpreneurs on School. We'll see you over there. And some of you will see in Sydney. Some of you will see with some of the other amazing work that Atena is doing. So stay tuned, lean in. Let us know, what is your why? What is your why? Let us know in the comments, and what you got out of this show. And if you've enjoyed it, please share the love. Share this video or podcast wherever you're watching this right now or tuning in. Share this with your loved ones, and let's help all transform the world together, one person at a time. Thank you so much again, Atena. It was an absolute pleasure having you on Media Queen TV. Hope you've enjoyed the show here today, and we'll see you again soon back on Media Queen TV. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. And thanks for having me. I'm so grateful to be here. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you.